guys, we are doing a bit of a challenge with the Yamatanukis. I'm obviously a fan of them. I'm happy with everything I've gotten out of them so far. But I am going to use the 2.5 inch and the 3.5 inch. I'm going to Ned rig each of those, and I'm going to weightless fish each of those and determine how I want to do this going forward, how I want to use the Yamatanuki. So that's the challenge for today. Stand by and we'll see how it works out. It is a little rainy, little chilly. I am here actually with a subscriber, Adam, and we're gonna see what we get here. No fish so far, no bites. Things aren't going well. And that might be the reason. 46 degrees. Getting awfully close to transition. No good. Now they're stocking with trout like now, I think. They probably already started.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right.
And they do it over in Franklin too, off of 431.
Well, there's supposedly McCrutching Creek in the Spring Hill area.
Yeah.
Do it. But every time I go by that creek, that water is so low. I
Yeah.
don't understand how they put trout in.
There are different spots where it gets a little deeper. Oh, there we got one. Hallelujah. A little smallie. So that's the Ned rigged smaller Yaka. Oh, now I'm Yamamoto Yamatanuki. That's a pretty fish though. Just a little guy. Ned rig 2.5 inch. Yeah. Up here on this side, there's a whole bunch of like rocks, and the water moves through there. When you're casting in there, you catch something, or at least I usually do. It hasn't been a super fishing day so far, but it kind of looks cool when you see, you know, just all the water falling down. It looks like a waterfall. It's not. It's just water draining. But then you look down here and there's this kind of fog on top of the water. It's pretty. Finally. Little spot. Just not a good day. Real monster.
don't know.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's legal or not, to be honest. Y'all, I am back again. The chunky fella is back again. We started a little bit of a challenge on the river that I didn't really feel like I did a good enough job with. So what happened is I went out with a subscriber, actually. We went out, I think I caught like 4, maybe 5 fish, doing this Yamatanuki challenge where we're taking, a Ned rigged Yamatanuki large 3.5, a Ned rig 2.5, a weightless 2.5, and a weightless 3.5. The goal is to find out how I want to use this thing going forward. I'm new to the Yamatanuki, and I think that it's going to be on a rod all the time, but I don't think I'm going to have, I can't dedicate all of my fishing to the Yamatanuki going forward, so I want to see what catches the most fish. So we're at a location that has fish, and unlike before when we were in the river, I'm in a lake, and I want to kind of do some sort of a comparison. So we will see how this goes going forward. Hopefully we catch some fish here. I'm going to do some paddling. I'm the only one out here. It is cold. I think it was a low of 28 last night. It feels pretty nice. I'm not even wearing a hoodie right now, but I am rocking the waders. Chunky fella waders for sure. So we're gonna see how this works out. Well, hasn't been a strong day fishing. That being said, the Ned rigged 2.5-inch Yamatanuki just resulted in 1 catch. Not a huge guy, but a largemouth bass. I think my first largemouth bass on the Yamatanuki, so that's cool. So this is the final tally for our late fall, early winter Yamatanuki challenge. It wasn't a great outing and a quarter, whatever we want to call it. I would say that, the failure and the 2 skunks with the weightless Yamatanuki, the 2.5 and the 3.5. I would say that I know for a fact I've caught fish weightless before. The fish are near the bottom. It's cold. We know to expect this. And perhaps in the river, the Yamatanuki wasn't able to fall all the way down from the current, and it had rained recently. It was a little faster than it had been previously. So I'm not completely convinced weightless isn't the way. I am convinced weightless isn't the way in cold weather. I would say that. So we have the Ned rigged 2.5 and 3.5 inch. The 2.5 caught the smallie as well as the largemouth. And then the 3.5 inch caught a spot and a rock bass. Again, wasn't a super great outing. I would have liked to seen more fish, but if you're willing to go out there in 30-degree temperatures and 45-degree water, then this is an issue, and it's an issue that exists and will continue to exist. These fish are, rather than eating, multiple times in a day, they're eating once every 3 to 4 days because they're just cold, they're low, and they're barely moving. So that's the situation we're in right now. I would say that the Ned rigged Yamatanuki is a great option for cold weather fishing. I had some success. I've had success previously, as you guys have seen. But I'm going to revisit the weightless. I don't want to write it off. We're going to revisit the weightless come springtime and even early summer. I want to kind of take another good look at that, and I think we'll probably have some more success. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, tight lines to each and every one of you, and thank you for joining me fishing.